15 minutes, let's do it now. Blah, 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 you got this, wow. No more fear when cravings bark. Micro fasting, that is the talk. Too many
Welcome to the Deep Dive. In our last episode, we talked about something that surprised a lot of people. We talked about why 15 minutes, such a small amount of time, can completely change your relationship with fasting, and the response was interesting. Many people said, okay, I get the idea. But there's still one problem: hunger. Everything we've been taught about hunger is fundamentally wrong. The fear, the anxiety, the constant need to eat. It's all based on misunderstanding how our bodies actually work.
That's quite a statement. What made you come to such a dramatic conclusion about something so basic to human experience?
Well, it's fascinating, really. Research shows that most of what we experience as dangerous hunger is actually just learned behavior. Think about it. We've been conditioned since childhood to treat every hunger pang like it's an emergency.
You know, that reminds me of a study from the University of California that found most people can't actually distinguish between true hunger and what they call emotional hunger cues.
Exactly right. And here's what's really mind-blowing. When researchers studied fasting patterns, they discovered that hunger actually comes in waves lasting only about 15 minutes each. We're not talking about hours of continuous discomfort.
So you're saying most people never experience this wave pattern because they eat at the first sign of hunger?
That's right. And it gets even more interesting when you look at how our bodies handle energy. You see, we're basically walking around with two fuel tanks, glucose and stored fat, but most people only know how to use one.
Well, that explains why so many people feel like they're going to crash if they don't eat every few hours. They've never trained their body to switch between fuel sources.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Studies show that the average person has enough stored energy in their fat cells to sustain them for weeks. Yet we panic if we go more than a few hours without eating.
That's exactly why the whole starvation mode myth is so persistent. People genuinely believe their body will start shutting down after missing just one meal.
You know what's fascinating? When researchers looked at cultures with traditional fasting practices, they found virtually none of this anxiety around hunger. It's really a modern Western phenomenon.
Speaking of cultural differences, I've seen data suggesting that societies with regular fasting patterns actually report better metabolic health markers. It's like their bodies are more adaptable.
And that adaptability is key, because what we're really talking about here is metabolic flexibility, the ability to smoothly transition between different fuel sources without throwing our bodies into panic mode.
So what's actually happening in our bodies during these hunger waves? Because I think understanding the mechanics might help people feel less anxious about it.
Well, it's like a well-orchestrated dance. When glucose levels start to drop, your body sends out hunger signals. That's the wave beginning. But if you don't respond immediately, something remarkable happens. Your body starts mobilizing stored fat for energy.
That's fascinating. So the hunger signal is more like a suggestion than an emergency?
Exactly. And here's what really blows people's minds. Studies show that mental clarity often improves during short fasts. The body becomes more alert, not less, once it adapts to using fat for fuel.
You know, this completely changes how we should think about those mid-afternoon energy crashes too. Maybe they're not about hunger at all, but about our body struggling to switch fuel sources.
Right. And this is where the practical application becomes so powerful. Instead of reaching for a snack at the first hint of hunger, we can learn to pause and ask, is this real hunger or is my body just switching gears?
That's such a valuable reframe. Instead of fighting against hunger, we're learning to read it like any other bodily signal.
And the implications go way beyond just fasting. This understanding can transform our entire relationship with food and eating. No more panic eating, no more constant snacking out of fear.
Looking ahead, what do you think this means for how we should approach eating in general?
Well, I think it points to a future where we're more in tune with our body's actual needs rather than being driven by learned fears and artificial eating schedules. It's about working with our biology, not against it.
That's really the key takeaway here. Hunger isn't the enemy. It's just information our body is giving us, and we can choose how to respond to it.
And once people understand that, everything changes. Fasting becomes a skill to develop rather than an ordeal to endure. It's really about reclaiming our natural relationship with hunger and food. This was the deep dive. Remember, real change doesn't come from forcing more. It comes from understanding better. We'll continue the dive in the next episode.
15 minutes, one calm pause, a better relationship with your body.
Wait, there's a new game in town. Micro fast and that's the name. Same board, different frame. Pause the plate, breathe it in. You don't quit, just celebrate the win. No pressure, no